Oh, hello, my dears. I was just looking at an old photo. Look at that, me with brown hair. And it's just that at the weekend, somebody said to me, the problem with you, Simon, is you're always laughing. And then I just opened a drawer this morning and there's proof. There we go. Well, I'm sorry if that's a problem, but that's me. Anyway, hello everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you for all your good wishes. It's Saturday. It's the 16th of January 2021. And so many of you have been contacting me and commenting that in recent vlogs I haven't sort of answered your questions. So I thought today I will answer a few. Most of you are asking the same sort of questions, so I've just picked a few names out to be your representative. So here goes. Anna Cos from Manchester. She asked, what was the best thing and the worst thing about 2020? Well, without being too glib, the best thing is I got through it. The worst thing is a number of my friends didn't, for obvious reasons. But we must try and look forward and be positive. The vaccines are now here, and once they've sorted out what I would consider a relatively simple task of getting the vaccines out, I think people will be of some better mindset. Pages Standing, what a wonderful name, from New York. What is your opinion of the riots we've had over here, and what do you do with riots in the UK? Well, I'm not going to make any political comment about this at all, but what I will say, rioting and that sort of behaviour is personal responsibility. I know what happened in the States was appalling, and I think it has shocked some people, but it is the personal responsibility of the individuals, and they should be dealt with accordingly. Likewise, a few years ago when Tony and I lived in South London in Croydon, something happened in North London, and for some reason it meant that Croydon had to be burnt down. Absolutely appalling. And then there was a load of looting, and it wasn't just the usual suspects that were looting. It found out afterwards that a lot of school teachers, so I shouldn't laugh because it is serious, but school teachers were looting. As a result, they were found because they were on camera, and not only did they get a criminal record, but they will never be able to teach again. Personal responsibility is like everything else, action and consequences. I hope that's answered that question. Daniel Parrish. Yes, he wanted to know how I would deal with insurance companies that are not paying up under the pandemic clauses. For those of you outside our shores, I don't know if it's happened in your countries, but over here in the UK, a lot of businesses have insurance to cover things like pandemics, but some insurance companies at the time in March and April were saying they were not going to pay out because COVID-19 wasn't on their list of pandemics. Well, it was new, so it wouldn't be. I think that is slowly being resolved, but it's a pity. It's a pity that legislation has to be drawn up to encourage insurance companies to pay out, and it's a pity that they just don't do it on a moral ground anyway. Philippa Jenkins from Cardiff. What is your opinion about the ham sandwich issue? Now, from the ham sandwich, again, those who are outside our shores, we are now an independent nation. We don't belong to Europe, and so we now have to obey by the rules of every other country. And an issue came up because somebody wasn't allowed to take their ham sandwich into Europe. Personally, I think this is a non-story. As someone who travels a lot, food is never allowed into any country, and some countries are more stringent than others. I know when I go to America, I'm not allowed to take food in. When I go to Australia and New Zealand, nobody is allowed to take any food in, even if it's vacuum packed. You can only really take food in if you've got a license. Well, of course, when Britain was part of Europe, that was sort of waived, and so we could. But we've now left, so we have to obey by the rules, and it's the same as those with the fisheries argument. It was a thing that would never be able to be resolved to anyone's satisfaction, so it's all a bit messy. But there are those who voted for Brexit because they didn't want to be under the control of, in their opinion, of Europe. So the result now is we have to be under the control of every single other country, and we have to obey by their rules, which is fair enough. There's only, 195 countries or sovereign states, so it should be quite easy to sort out some sort of deal. Oh dear. And then there's Anthony Valentine. He's from Stockport, and he says, I'm in terrible debt. I'm in terrible debt. I didn't qualify for any support. What am I going to do? I feel so sorry for everybody that's in this situation, and I can tell you that you're not the only one. Hundreds of thousands, and in fact millions of people, did not qualify for whatever support was on offer, so they're going to be in a bit of a, well, let's just say, fertilizer. But that brings me to a suggestion that I put forward. Globally, the entire planet is bankrupt because of COVID and other issues, but COVID is the main thing. Everybody's going to owe everybody hundreds of thousands and millions and trillions, and nobody really will be able to pay it back. Occam's razor. William Ockham was some sort of philosopher way 100 years back. He had this suggestion that when you have an issue, look at all the options that are available to resolve it, and then choose the simplest, easiest, and quickest issue response to your issue, and then it's over and done with. I personally think the debt, in some sort of way, should be and will have to be written off. And of course, the dinosaurs who want us to continue and carry on in our old-fashioned ways of doing things will sort of faint and pass out at that suggestion. But I do think, as the entire globe is in a crisis, this is an opportunity to start looking at how we deal with our economics and finances in a very different way. But let's not upset people. Let's just look forward and be very positive for 2021. There are lots of people that can help people. The Citizen Advice Bureau in the UK, and there are equivalents across the pond and around the world. There are people who will be able to help. You just need to get the courage just to pick up the phone or knock on a door and say, please help. And there will be someone there who can help you. Well, until my next vlog, toodle pip.